we're going to quickly talk about how things actually move around the Scratch window. One of the things that's really nice about the way it's set up is it's based on XY coordinate grid. This actually makes it really easy to make comparisons between what students are learning in Scratch and what they might be learning back in their math classes. Okay, so here we've got our basic cat on a basic stage. I'm going to actually change the backdrop. So if we go down here, you'll notice here's the stage, here's the sprite, and if we click right here on the little image, it says choose a backdrop for the library. Now, I'm sure when your students get going with this, they'll love a lot of these. I've got some really interesting things. You can even take pictures of your classroom or your school and import those, anything you'd like. But for us, I know students will get really excited about this one. We've got an XY grid built right in. Right? Students love graphing, I know. But the thing I think that really helps about this is it really makes that connection between Scratch and what they might be learning in math. I accidentally created a second cat, so I'm going to, Alright, so we were over here in costumes. I'm going to go back here to scripts. So if you see here, the cat, if you notice down here at the bottom, as I move it around, that XY is changing. So as I move it up, okay, I'm trying not to move back and forth at all. I'm not doing a very good job, but you can see that Y, as I move down, Y is getting lower, and then it gets all the way to 0, and then we keep going down and Y becomes negative. It's one of the things I really like about how Scratch is set up. They really think about the fact that students are also at this age, they're having to learn about those XY coordinates, and so that's the way the screen is set up. Not all programming languages are set up this way, but again, this was intentional to help really reinforce what students are learning. You also see here they've got this grid, so as I pull the cat this way and I get towards 100, lo and behold, it gets to 100. So you can see the size of the grid, and if you're having a difficult time, if a student's kind of having a hard time getting a sprite to move to a certain location, this sometimes can kind of help them picture where it should be going. So let's go ahead and add when clicked. I'm just going to add a forever loop. Let's see, I'm going to actually add a pen to this. So let's set pen color to, I don't know, let's leave it at green. I'm going to put the pen down at green, and then we're going to move 10, and I want to actually turn and move. So, oops. So there we go, we've got him going in a circle, which isn't quite what I wanted. Okay, let me get him reoriented. Point in direction 90. Get rid of this. Okay, here we go. It's facing the right way. You can also, if you click over here, you'll notice I've got a lot of clutter now. I accidentally drew my little circle. So if I want to clear it, if I go to here to stage backdrop, events, when this is clicked, we can clear graphic effects. So now, oops, that didn't do it. Sorry, I was looking for pen clear. Wrong thing. Okay. Alright, so now when we start our program, every time it starts off with a nice clear screen. This can sometimes be a little confusing to students too, is sometimes they'll click over here on the backdrop and they can't get all the options. So if you ever get this and you notice, oh, we don't have any motion, not much is showing up here, a lot of times that's an indicator they're on the screen, or the stage, and not the sprite. Alright, so we're going to add this back so he's facing the right direction. I'm going to change this so he is going to move a random amount, so we're not necessarily going in a direct circle. So I'm going to have the little cat move from 10 to 50 steps each time. So when we click now, okay, he's kind of moving different amounts. But you can see here, if I need to know where the cat is, by having this as a background, I'm now basically kind of around negative 80-ish. And then if we go down, we're down at negative 30. Okay, so let me get rid of that. So let's say I was trying to get my cat to this location right here. Let's see, we could actually have it then point in direction, and up is 0, so we're going to point direction 45. Test to make sure that's right. And I'm going to start the cat off each time at 0, 0. So go put, so he's in the right spot. And then all of the same code is still there. Now you'll notice one thing, when I click over here, I'm on the sprite for the cat, so it's only doing the cat commands. It wasn't clearing the screen. So let me move him back here, you kind of see what I mean. When I double click, so the cat moved and the pin's down. When I double click again, you'll see that that line is still there, even though on stage it's clearing it. So when I'm clicking here, I'm only impacting the cat. When I click over here, I'm only impacting the stage. So I can move my cat and be on the stage, and it'll clear, but the cat doesn't do anything. In order to do both, we have to click this right here. That activates all of the various pieces. So there we go. Okie doke. So if our goal is to get the cat to this point on the screen, I can then go to, and I want to go to x100, y100. So over 100, up 100. Okay, so when we click, there goes our cat. And clearly I have, right. So there we go. So making sure that your students know how the Cartesian coordinate system works behind this, especially students in that second half of elementary school, this can make a really big difference when they're trying to get very specific things to happen in their program. One of the things that can be a little bit tricky at first is exactly how to navigate the screen. So this particular view where it shows this Cartesian coordinate system that's underneath everything really can help them understand how to move their different sprites around the screen. It also really helps them understand that Cartesian coordinate system, which, as I know from having taught math, even in high school, they're still kind of struggling with. So anything we can do to help them really understand what the heck all that XY stuff is even for really makes a difference in their learning.